Good morning, and the meter says we do have sound, so we'll see. Good to have you guys on. We got Jenny and Kathy and Kim, and it's Friday.
It is.
Did you
Friday.
know that?
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I like Fridays.
do you?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I get to be here.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if it's going to rain today or not. I really
I hope
really
not,
haven't had rain
actually.
the last 2 days.
Yeah, I know. It'd be nice if we had another day off.
Hey, Dennis. Dennis is probably okay if it doesn't rain there.
Yeah, he got 15 inches or something like that
in Dallas, where they are. They got like 5 or 6, I think. I just love I think Jim is the one that said this. You don't think that a 6-inch average annual rainfall is a lot unless you're there the 2 hours it comes.
Right.
So that's not their average rainfall, but man.
Yeah, seriously. So, Dennis, did you build an ark?
He said well, you heard the men's Bible study had a windstorm and a couple of trampolines in his yard.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to rain. Well, there's a chance of rain today, but
yeah,
that give me a chance to get out and get some stuff done this morning. And last week it was way cool because it was raining Saturday morning when I woke up. So I couldn't work outside at all. I know.
You look forward to that, huh?
Well, yeah, I like rainy days. But Kenny Loggins, what was his name? I love a rainy night.
That was Eddie Rabbit.
Eddie Rabbit.
Yep.
Okay. See, music guy there.
There you go.
Eddie Rabbit.
I don't know much, but I know useless music trivia.
Was Rabbit his real name or? Yes, Colleen. Sure. I'm heading out this morning to do wood after I get a bite to eat. I don't know what it is. Well, a lot's changed, but so used to I just didn't eat breakfast at all, and I would be fine, until lunch. But nowadays, my sugar takes a dive. I can feel it if I don't have breakfast.
Oh.
A lot of times I have to have something before I have coffee.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
Not before. I'm going to have it right after this.
Oh, okay. All right. So pace yourself.
Yeah.
If you need me to drink your coffee for you, I will.
If I just crash, then you'll know what happened. Yeah. I think it's my blood sugar. Weird stuff happened. I mean, I don't know. Jim said something a while ago that I think about, but I don't have the same attitude he has. He's so positive. Jim said a while back that he's watching with fascination as his body deteriorates. And I'm like, man, it's more horror to me. I'm like, what?
I had a similar thought this morning too, because I have something going on, just an ache in my back, or it's actually in my side, but it's debilitating, and I have no idea how that happened. I said, "Is this what is this?" I mean, it's why couldn't it have happened? When I was working hard or doing something fun, where it's just kind of a sports related injury. No, it's just me getting older, probably. And
you could have one of two things happening. Either you just have spontaneous aches and pains, or you can't remember what you did to cause it.
Either way, it's not good.
Yeah. That messed with me. And Bethany's on, by the way. Good morning, Bethany. That's what messed with me during the whole COVID stuff, because they're giving the symptoms, and I'm like,
yeah, that's me anyway.
Any given day. I mean, the sniffles, headache, or aches and pains, and fatigue. Tired. I'm like, well, that's my life. So.
Yep.
So yeah, it's fun. That's all right.
So not only do I have an unknown injury, but it's debilitating. So it's like, okay, that's what I can look forward to for the rest of my life.
Which hopefully is a long time.
I hope so.
Yeah. For a long, long time.
Yep.
I don't know. I can make up stuff in my mind. Like my shoulder just really been killing me the last few days because I moved wood last Friday.
There you go.
Just a little slow to catch up on it. I don't know.
Oh, that's it. Old army injury. It's coming back to get me.
Yeah, that must be genetic because my dad was in the army, not me. Well, anyhow, it's Friday.
It is.
We're talking about belong, the ABCs of FBC Cloudcroft.
This is the B in the ABCs.
This is the B. And so belong to a small group that meets regularly is the way that we say it.
Yeah.
And so we've been talking about that. Jim and I sometimes it's hard to tell if they just like can't think of stuff. And I'm always careful, like if they're driving, I don't want them texting and stuff or typing in. But the benefits of small groups, so that's what we talked about really a lot on Wednesday. So here's what I want to talk about today. All right. Well, the big idea is that big things happen in small groups.
Right.
So here's your question, and here's what I want to kind of flesh out today and kind of maybe solve is...
We have a problem?
Maybe.
Okay.
Why do people not get involved in small groups? What are some reasons that people don't get involved in small groups? So we'll chime in. We need to think, but I want you guys. Why is it that people don't get involved in small groups? You guys chime in.
Yeah, because I really don't know the answer. I don't have that problem.
Yeah. We're like
and Java and Jesus is about the smallest group that we have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's funny. We have a community group that meets Sunday nights, not every Sunday night, twice a month, and I think we have about 30. Starting another one. So Kathy says they think they're too busy. Kim says they are too busy. Busy lives, different priorities. Oh, the being vulnerable is tough.
What do you mean by that?
Well, that you open up to people, so you share some stuff that it's not something that you want public knowledge, but you have to build the trust in order to be able to trust them with stuff that you share.
Yeah, I was going to speculate something along those lines, like sometimes you just feel uncomfortable in groups.
Mm-hmm.
The introverted among us.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask Kathy to explain that one. So yeah, and that's what Jenny says. You're shy. Okay. So if you're a shy person, you'd rather be in a big crowd to kind of be anonymous. Mm-hmm. If it's a smaller group, then you're expected to participate, which is true. Scheduling issues, too much going on. Colleen says hard to coordinate everybody's schedule. That can be.
Yep.
And then I don't know if Kathy texted the wrong person. Put that in. What do you mean by babysitting? Oh, I know what she means.
You have to
what do you do with the kids? What do you do with the kids during that? Okay, that makes sense. I thought she meant you couldn't join a small group because she was babysitting.
No, I got it. So
what do you do with kids?
So I guess it's wrong to just abandon them.
Generally frowned upon. Okay. I shared on Wednesday. Our Sunday school department in a church that I wasn't on staff at, I was the department director for young adults. And that one, that God just blessed, that it was a class of 5 people that turned into a department with several classes. And then we had the first year, there was just it was just a neat thing. A group of us just like hanging out so much. We said, hey, let's do a Bible study. So we started with like 6 or 8 of us, adults plus the kids, with a Bible study, and that grew that year. So there was about 10 to 12 adults plus the kids. Well, the next year that really took off, and so we had to start another one. We ended up with about 16 adults plus the kids. So we would pack, and we were all poor young adults. So we packed the kids in a bedroom about this size, and there was probably like 16 kids in there and 16 adults. So childcare is always a big deal.
It is. Some small groups are family friendly, though.
Yes, and ours was, and Ours, the one we're doing on Sunday is.
So
We have a ton of kids.
I'd say if you have small kids, find a small group that can support that.
But what I'm seeing is, and this is something that we've wrestled with different churches over the years, is so what do they do with kids? And different people have different ideas. Some of them want to create another program for kids, and that gets really difficult, to have a whole nother machine for them. One church, North Point, I don't know if they still do this, but we used to go to a conference there before I came here. And we would take people out because the people who were volunteer at the conference were members of the church. So we would meet somebody and say, hey, we'll buy you lunch if you let us pick your brain about what happens here, just on the behind the scenes. And what they did, we found out, was they would do vouchers. So I don't know what the amount, I'll just make an amount up to $20 per family to pay a babysitter on their own. So they would have the voucher, they would pay the babysitter, they would fill that out, turn it into the church and get reimbursed up to $20 per. I don't know if that was the price, but something like that. And I asked, I said, man, that sounds expensive. He said, most people don't turn them in. They just take care of child care on their own. But what we did and do, is we don't do a program for the kids. I mean, we put all of our eggs in the Wednesday basket for that, and that's working. But we just have someone. If it's a lot of kids, we'll have an adult supervise and maybe take turns. But lots of different ideas. But that's a big one. So Kim says, being in a small group is commitment to the others in the group, and some people back away from that. I think so. Here's one of the things that I'm seeing. I don't know where this is going with the generations to come. Are you ready?
No.
Good, because I'll tell you anyways. We are in a time in our nation, particularly, I don't know about the world, but in our culture, where people don't want to make a commitment.
I've noticed that.
They want to keep their options open. Of course, working with teenagers all the time, you get this, and it's not just teenagers; it's adults too. I've got two sides of this. So let's plan 3 months out. Oh, well, I can't plan that far out. Okay, so hey guys, this is what we're doing next month. Oh, we already have plans for next month. You know what I mean? And we're trying to find the sweet spot. Is it 6 weeks? That people feel comfortable. And then with some youth, we make them pay something, even if we can get full scholarships for stuff, because they'll get a full scholarship and they don't show up. And you say, hey, where are you? Oh, I'm spending the night with a friend. Okay, that cost us $200, but all right. So.
Well, and we've said in other sessions that it boils down to what you prioritize. If you make it a priority, you'll make time for it.
If it's important.
Right. Well, that's why you make it a priority, because you think it's important.
Right.
So maybe that's the real question.
That's where I think, yeah.
How do you make it important?
How do you make it important? It reveals what is important, I think. Wow.
Yeah. So
there's
your hard question.
That's a whole big question. Jose hopped on. Good morning,
Jose.
Jose. So I am a planner, and in fact, I already have most of the 2023 calendar planned, which is really messing with me because I'm going to end up writing the wrong date on stuff. Not as bad as Mike Shenaberry. He wrote 2025 on something the other day, and I'm like, dude, whoa! I think he's really a time traveler. I think he's a time traveler. He just forgot what time he was in. So I'm a planner. So that's a good question. Let me ask you guys this, because I think, how do you make small groups important? How do you make that something important enough to make it a priority? That's a good question. I don't have an answer. I can maybe come up with one. But.
Yeah, I think I could come up with one too.
So how do you make small groups? How do you make that become important to you enough that it's a priority and you're willing to commit to it? That's a good question. So you guys, they did really good about jumping in on the other. So tell us.
Right, and then silence.
I know, because that one's a hard one. A heart issue. Okay. So how do you? Because we can't change our hearts really. We can do some things that can help.
Well, maybe if you have a heart issue, a small group is the cure for that. Or at least a remedy.
Yeah.
To work on that. You realize you have a problem. Maybe that's a reason to take care of it. You start feeling bad. You might need to take some medicine.
Over time, as the group becomes family.
Yep.
But then you're in a catch-22.
Right, you got to get there first.
You're in a catch-22 that if it becomes important because you're in a small group and you see the need, then you had to have made it important enough to commit to it already. Need to be in one to feel the benefits. So that's it. I know what she's saying. Persistence. But I love autocorrect. Persistence.
Yeah. I think that's what Kim is saying there too. Just keep inviting people till they come.
But so here's something, and I was talking with a friend yesterday about this, and this is we tend to undervalue this. Yeah, you probably spelled it right, but autocorrect fixed it for you.
This is what you really mean. Something that's incomprehensible. Right?
That happens so often with me. So I was talking with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about this. We undervalue this. That it's 80-some% of people who come to church for the first time do so because of a personal invitation from a friend. So I think, and our strategy is invest, invite, do life through Christ. So I think that's how to get people in. Oh, that's funny. I have a cat that all of a sudden is giving me really good headbutts. It's like smacking. Cynthia, what's that? So Jack wants me to pet him. So if we get the value of it to help them get the value, to kind of leverage our relationship with them to get them to come. One of the things that I think that I'm seeing in here, Kim said, and we try to do this, so to have some groups that are easier to join, so it's almost like a progression. For example, men and women's Bible studies. You don't have to make a long-term commitment to those. In fact, we don't even ask people to commit. We've got a good solid group. I think the ladies probably do too, of people who come regularly. But we don't ask for a big commitment. And
you can come and go as you please, or if you're only interested in a particular study, a study only lasts 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You can join for one study.
Yeah.
See how you like it, and you will.
But that's a good way, and so that's for us who are involved in those. Maybe that's something we need to realize. Let's try to model what a community group or a small group looks like with our Bible studies. To have those, and we do that. I know the ladies do too. We have a fellowship coming up this next Tuesday night.
That's right, we do.
Bratwurst, and after I said that I would do the bratwurst, remembered I'm going to be in Albuquerque that morning, but I should be back in plenty of time. Don't worry. So still having bratwurst. But to model that, to make it easier to join, because once you kind of get into that, then you see the need, you feel the need, and so we try to do that with a lot of different things. But I think maybe for us as a church, one of the things is we need to try to do that in all of our small groups.
Yeah.
Just try to model that, what a small group looks like, and let that be a taste of it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because our community groups that we're doing, that we really want to press into this year, now we do ask for a commitment, and for some, I think maybe our generation and older, we're just used to doing that, making it a commitment. For others, man, it's hard. That's almost a new concept for them to commit to something.
Yeah.
You know, and the way we say, because we know stuff comes up, right? I mean, stuff comes up with me. I wasn't feeling all that great yesterday, and I canceled a couple of things. That's why I wasn't at the worship team practice.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what happened to you.
And in this day and age, you know, you have to be careful how you phrase things. I'm not feeling well. Oh no, did you get tested? No, I'm just kind of dragging is all. I think if I just...
That's one of the symptoms.
Yeah, I know it is. It is any given day.
Yep.
I think if I just go home and lay down, I'll be all right. But anyhow, we know things come up.
Yeah. Well, hey, I missed Thursday morning.
Right. Yeah. Thumbs. Wow. Things come. That's a thumb. Things come up with work or personal or family, or sometimes just not feeling good. So we get that. You know, we're not saying that, you know, come hell or high water, you have to be at the community groups. But what we're saying is that you plan on it.
Yeah.
You make it a commitment, and that's what people in generations younger than us, and I don't know how much younger, but I know certainly the millennial and the Gen Z, they tend not to plan on it.
Well, it is a cultural shift. We see that even in the workplace,
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, 30, 40 years ago, you get a job and you pretty much work it until retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people are changing jobs every 2 to 5 years.
Those are the long-term people.
Yeah.
I know people that change far more frequently, and not
Well, that's
just
on average. So you do have some
Yeah.
people who stay there forever. You got some people who are changing every 6 months. You got a lot of people who aren't working at all. But
yeah, that disappeared.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I see that, and so maybe the underlying cultural thing is, what if something better comes along? I don't want to commit to this, because what if something better comes along? And I see that in just life, just weekly stuff, but certainly I can see that with work too. And you know, with jobs, I can kind of see, it used to be the company would have the pension, and so that would engender loyalty to the company.
Right.
And then, you know, everything, all that kind of went away, and so now your pension goes with you whenever you go, or I don't know if you want to call it a pension anymore, but your retirement,
Right.
kind of goes with you wherever you go. And so companies kind of lost that loyalty when it looked like companies weren't loyal to the employees and employees weren't loyal to the companies. But it's really permeated every area of our society, even to, so you guys probably have experienced this too. Nobody knows what RSVP is. It's French. It means "Répondez s'il vous plaît," which my French is horrible, but respond please. It means respond.
Yep.
And people are like, well, I don't know if I'm going. Okay.
Tell me.
Yes. Yeah. Respond. And have you? So Facebook has their own version of that. Have you seen it for events?
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
It's kind of yes, no, and maybe.
Right.
Maybe I don't know why they put that. Because if you don't respond at all, it's a maybe, isn't it? I mean,
well, if it's anything like Outlook, you can reply tentative, and it at least stays on your calendar.
Okay.
So that you remember it.
Okay. Maybe that's what
commit to it.
Maybe that's what Facebook does. Just remind me in case nothing better comes up. I'll go to that. Oh, you're having a birthday party? Okay, well, if I don't have anything better to do, I'll show up. That's hurtful for a friend, isn't
Yep.
it? Your birthday is it's not coming up, is it? Yours is.
I have about one a year.
Do you?
Yep.
I think it is coming up. I think it might be. I can look.
It is coming up.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. Dang. Wow.
Hope I make it.
Jumping ahead of me here. All right. Interested. That's okay. So, I guess that's the Facebook thing. You're interested.
Ah.
Yeah.
What if you're not interested, but
I guess
you want it? Maybe that means you're remotely interested. I don't know.
Who knows? The thing is,
Non-committal is probably a better word. They
That-
just call it what it is.
that's the truth.
Yep, non-committal.
Life at 70 is tentative.
Yep.
So, some of you know, so we have Jose Garcia on. I think I got his last name right. Jose. Yeah.
No, there
yeah.
it is. Yep, Garcia.
I have a friend from Spain, Jose Luis Martinez. He's the consummate Spanish gentleman, and he's moving and wanted to get together one more time before he moves. He's, I hate to venture, 80s, maybe mid to late 80s.
Okay.
And so I asked him, I talked to him yesterday, how are you doing? I'm still alive. He quit. We used to go to a conference once a year together, and several years ago quit planning for the next year. He said, wait till it gets a little closer. So life at 70 is tentative. I can maybe get that. I don't know.
I get
how
that.
I
mean, so why are the 20-somethings
that's
so
what's
tentative?
hard. That's what's hard.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on, you got your whole life ahead of you. It's safe for you to still plan things.
Yeah. I just want half of Jim's energy when I'd like to have half of his energy right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can make it to my next birthday. Right?
Oh, that's funny. All right. Anyways, we won't get into that too much. But so here's what it's going to take. Are you ready? And this is leading into the message on Sunday.
Oh boy.
So what's the C in the ABCs? Do you remember? Commit. So
that's what we're leading up to.
That even applies with the belong. In order to do that, we're going to have to learn how to commit. We need to, and sometimes, and I kind of got this, I think, from what Kim said earlier. Sometimes you just have to say, I'm going to try it, even though I don't really understand the benefit of it yet. So I'm going to give it a chance, and that takes a commitment to do. So let me pray for you guys. We've gone 30 minutes now.
Wow.
I know how time flies. Let me pray for you guys, send you off into your weekend, and let me just encourage you to get involved in a small group somewhere. Belong to a small group. Yeah, we can do that. That's how we have to take everything. It's like one day, 1 hour, 1 second at a time. But for me, the first step is to plan on it.
Yeah.
So what that means, Friday night community group. What that means is when we're going to meet, that I plan on it. And if someone says, "Hey, Friday night, can you do da da da?" No, I have something I have going on.
Every journey begins with a single step.
Yes. I saw on a TV show last night something I love to recount. But how do you eat an elephant? One step,
bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Yeah. The journey begins one step. Anyways, let me pray for you guys and send you off into the weekend. Father, thank you for your love. Thank you for the way that you work in us and through us, and God, usually you use your people to do that. And so, Lord, I pray that you would help us to take that step and to be involved in a small group. And if we already are, to just make the decision to participate and to let that become our group of encouragers, of people that we connect with. And God, that we would do that in a way that would allow you to work in our hearts. Father, help us to reach out to others. and to be that friend that invests in their lives and then invites them along with us so that they can experience, Lord, just all the benefits that happen in a small group of believers. Use us in ways that bring you honor and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Good to see you guys, and we will see you next week. I'm going to try out my new button. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here goes.
Take care.